Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Male to female individuals are advised to develop a greater willingness to listen and not interrupt, to move their mouth more and to smile more to better pass as a female, whereas FTM individuals are advised to be more dominant to better fit into the male community.
Dominant speech is what comes more naturally to me. There was a long period of time as a child where I was trained to be a lot more polite and a lot more like respectful of social scripts in a way that is kind of difficult to undo. So there was definitely a period where I felt like kind of like a caricature attempting to pick up those social cues, and I was like, I can't just call everyone bro. That sucks. Why would I do that? And that sounds funny coming out of my mouth. And then eventually it became a lot more typical, I think. But I've also noticed ways that I'm not entirely sure are good. I've always had a little bit of a tendency to interrupt people, but it was a lot easier to soften my voice and like not have people notice that I was interrupting them when my voice was a lot higher, and I also spoke more quietly. Now that I have kind of a more resonant, deep, and loud voice, it's really obvious when I interrupt someone, and I've noticed people are way less quick to be frustrated with the fact that I have interrupted them and are more likely to let me steamroll over them if I accidentally try to. And so I have to stop myself and be like, oh, don't do that. Like, you could just interrupt anyone if you wanted to, but please don't. Mind your manners and let other people talk, especially like women are more likely to let you interrupt them because they feel like you might not be nice to them if you don't. Like, no, shut yourself down. Don't become that person. It feels in a way like I pose a bit more of a social threat. Like, if I were to be upset and be like, no, I want to interrupt you, let me, then other guys might be like, yeah, let him talk. And it's like that. It's weird to feel that power because it's not a good one. It's one that sucks pretty badly, especially if it reflects poorly on someone who was like already talking and it was her time. It was the kind of thing where I saw people standing with their shoulders more square and broad and open, and I was like, okay, so it's fine if I do that. And like, there's like someone who's taking up a whole couch over there. I'm allowed to take up this whole couch also. I can stand a little wider. I can like talk with my hands if I want to, but in bigger gestures. Like, it was a very strange way to change.
Males enact performances of dominance and self-mastery in an effort to not lose their status by letting their mask of masculinity slip. Are there any social norms you noticed that enforces this ideology of masculinity?
I do find it very normal to be like, more than one person can sit on the same couch. Everyone, like, the couch sits 3+ people at any given time. And as it turns out, dudes apparently prefer to each have their own piece of furniture. It's kind of like a social norm that, like, unless there's a divider between the two sides of the couch, like that, which makes it 2 chairs, that one couch belongs to one person, whether you sit big or small on it. And inviting to sit with someone on a couch with you is seen as like some kind of vaguely romantic or at least very close gesture.
Joel Scherzer has suggested one useful overarching generalization, that in any community the normal linguistic behavior of women and men will be represented in ways congruent with the community's more general representation of the essential natures of the two groups, and that is more evident when individuals decide to transition.